Hello everyone, welcome back to MixBuzz TV. Hope you're having a great day. Another rapid fire Q&A. You guys like this one, so leave all your questions in the info box down below. This one is about Crosstalk, and this question was posted on my how to emulate analog summing mixer with plugins. The fast action is asking me, is Crosstalk really important to finish off the full simulation of analog summing? I do not want to use console emulation. Would I be good with just .rms and saturation EQ? What plugins do just Crosstalk without adding any color or anything else? I read somewhere that I can use a send on each bus to send to an aux, swap L and R on the auxes, add a tilt shelving EQ, bringing up more heights, then blend the result in like at minus 70 dB. Okay, in this case, I can only give you my opinion. Is Crosstalk really that important to emulate analog? I don't think so. Crosstalk, for those who are not aware, is basically especially on the two bus of mixing consoles, but also on the other channels, is basically what signals from one channel bleeding into the other. So SSL console, you have the two bus. Left channel would bleed slightly in the right channel and vice versa. Same happened with some tape machines, same happened with a lot of analog gear. Now, Crosstalk originally in the analog world, designers were trying to avoid that. So it was not a feature, it was not something wanted. But as many things in the analog world, it wasn't really possible to completely eliminate it, not like we have in the digital world. Okay, so that's the main difference. In the digital world, it's zero because it's digital. It's so separated. There's no way one channel is going to bleed into the other. So when plugin companies started to emulate analog gear, what they did was trying to sell it as a marketing point. Let's put it this way. Whether or not that contributes to the plugin being closer to the analog, maybe. I mean, analog does have it, so it makes sense if you want to try to go one-to-one with the analog, the plugins also have it. But it sounds weird to me because that's not something that analog designers wanted on their unit. They were trying to avoid it. So the fact that it was there anyway and now we try to emulate it with the plugins, it sounds a little bit strange to me. I understand why, and probably all of you do. But I just don't think it's that important, you know? Now, I can think of a couple of companies that really started to market that they were the first ones to actually emulate also the Crosstalk that no other company did before. So I think the buzz around the Crosstalk is mostly due to that. Popular plugin companies trying to sell what was originally something unwanted in the analog world as a feature, as a, as an improvement in the digital world. Again, nobody can tell if that's the case or not. Best case scenario, I really doubt it makes a significant difference. Also, another thing, probably any piece of hardware gear, just because it's hardware, even if you have like a stereo compressor on your two bus, or for example here, I have my two Neves that I run my mixing to. They are two mono units. There might be some crosstalk already. So it's not that hard to emulate. Do you have one or two hardware units you mix into? You probably have enough. That's my point. Would I ever go out of my way to try to emulate with some other plugins that just does crosstalk? No way. It's such a waste of time. First of all. Second, some plugins do have it, so if you really think and feel like you can hear a difference when you use a plugin that has crosstalk, just use one of those because now there's plenty. But what scares me is the other part is, and I remember when this came out, like you can do crosstalk just by, busing your audio to buses, to auxes, and just starting sending, left and right channel at a low level. Then he had using a tilt shelving EQ. So that will cause problems. There's no reason to EQ differently. If you wanna just do crosstalk, there's no reason to use a shelving EQ or any EQ on the left and the right channel to EQ it differently. Okay, it didn't happen in the analog world, so why would you do that? You're just running the risk, and 99% you will have some phase shift. Down to minus 70 dB, probably you will never hear it, and you will not cause any significant problem. But why doing it? You gain nothing from it. Now, the one thing that I want to point that out is, even if you do try to emulate crosstalk in the digital in your DAW, like by sending signals left and right, in the analog world, sometimes the reason as to why there was crosstalk, it was literally magnetic field. Okay, so it was not like a cable plugged in left and right. It was just literally components bleeding magnetic field into another and letting signal noises pass. And you can already imagine that was not a linear process. There was phase shift in it. There was non-linearities, and that is not gonna happen if you take the signals in your DAW and you do left and right, because that's perfect left, perfect right. And when you blend them together, it's gonna be perfect left and perfect right crossed. That's not what crosstalk is in the analog world. So you will never get the same result anyway, and you're spending time trying to do something that is really, nobody's gonna hear it. That's my thought. So I hope this clarifies, I hope this answered the question. Crosstalk, is that important? Nah. I hope this video was useful. I don't want to keep these too long, so before you go, guys, please check the info box down below for my mixing courses, a bunch of great deals on plugins. If you want to support the channel, grab a t-shirt. We have a Patreon. Post your questions for the rapid Q&A and the live Q&A that is coming, because many of you guys asked for the live Q&A, so we are going to do that again. Post your question in the comment down below. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already. See you next time.